Don't want to start you off with something negative, but I'm going to. Uh, Coach Kiffin talked about tackling not being very good last Saturday. What can you guys do to correct that?
I think the biggest thing is we got to stop arm tackling. We got to run through our shoulder pads and drive your feet. And I think that a lot of that comes from aggression and swarm. Because when you bring in a lot of people, and there's nowhere to go. There's not a lot of places for the back or the receiver to run, and Drew can do all the moves to get out of tackle. So I feel like if we just pursue and swarm better as a team and gang tackle, I think that's gonna showcase with less missed tackles as an entire unit.
Sorry about that, Isaac. Do you get a sense that this game means something special to Pete Golding? Has that topic come up yet at all? Obviously, he was at Alabama the last several years.
Mhm. Nah, the topic hasn't really came up yet. I mean, we just are doing like introductory type meetings in terms of putting in our first down stuff for Bama. So, but none of that stuff has really came up. He's just been treating it like it's another week. Obviously, we know the opponent that we have to go down to Tuscaloosa and play, but it hasn't been anything where it's like anything extra personal or anything on the top.
Nick Saban named Milroe the starting quarterback a little while ago. What challenge does he present to you guys as a running quarterback?
I mean, when you have a running quarterback, it kind of now they have 10 blockers instead of usually it'll be like 9 because the quarterback usually isn't a part of it. So like that's another person you have to account for, another person that can be blocking downfield. And when you can get a quarterback who can read defenses and throw the ball, but then also run the ball, it's just a different aspect. You got to play more sound on your pass rush lanes. You can't really go balls to the wall and lose your responsibility in that sense. So that's the type of challenges it puts forward.
between the the game this week against USF being close, losing to Texas, and having multiple different QBs with Alabama, there's a lot of headlines about them that wouldn't be around in normal years. How would you assess the locker room's ability to kind of flush away any negativity about Bama and still kind of give them the respect that they've deserved and gotten over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Bama is Bama. Like, no matter what's going on, and I know I've been a fan of college football for a while, and I've seen seasons like at the beginning of every season, there's always this, oh, is Bama the same Bama? They lost all these, they lost all these, but then they still find a way to be who they are and who they have been over the past couple of decades, and that's really just because of culture. And I think culture really carries at a place like that, and I really experienced it. Even though it was FCS at JMU, it was really a culture. Even when you're rebuilding, people think, oh, you're not going to be as good, you're not going to do this, but the culture just carries, and I feel like that's what you see at Bama and places like North Dakota State and stuff like that. So I think either way, the culture will carry. So I think there's still going to be a good team. There's going to be a great team that we got to go out and play our best to win against. Because if we go in there thinking, oh, this is a down year, it's a down year, but I mean, what have we done lately? I mean, honestly, so it doesn't matter. You can say they're having a down year, but what year are we having? We've only had 3 games. So, yeah, we're going to go in there like any other week, give them the utmost respect, and try and go out and play physical and win the game.
You guys had a close game against Alabama last season, and Ole Miss got up to a 7-0 start, and then Alabama came back and won the game. How do you guys kind of just want to finish the game? Because a lot of games last year, Ole Miss wasn't able to finish. How do you guys go into this game with the mindset of like, hey, this is a tough team. Let's try to find a way to finish the game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I wasn't here last year, so I can't speak to what they were thinking last year. But in terms of this year, I just feel like our mentality is we're trying to play complete games. Like, we haven't started really well these past few games. We have been finishing better. I mean, on defense, we let up too many points in the fourth quarter last week, but we've been finishing. We've been able to regroup at the halftime and finish better in these first 3. These last 2 specifically, the first game was kind of a blowout, but these last 2 specifically, we've been able to regroup at halftime. And finishing has been a big thing for us, but honestly, it's starting to. It's the entire game, but I just feel like if we just keep that focus and keep that intensity, keep your foot on the neck the entire time and not let people crawl in or give people hope. I think last week we gave Georgia Tech hope by not really stepping on their throats, and we saw it with that surge they had in the fourth quarter, the end of the third and the fourth quarter when they started scoring a lot of points. But, yeah, I just feel like we just got to keep a mentality, keep a foot on the neck.
It's going to be your first SEC game. It's going to be at Alabama, one of the historic places. Are games like this part of the reason that you came here?
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited. I mean, I've been a fan of these type of games, these SEC games that I used to watch after my games early in my college career and stuff like that. But I mean, now to be able to play in these games is really cool. I mean, I'm not a fan anymore. I'm actually in it, so it's gonna be nice, and I'm gonna treat it like any other game. But I'm definitely gonna give it my all and go out there and play as best as I can.
Defensively, what has to happen in order for you guys to pull out, or if you guys pull out a victory, what will have happened defensively, you think?
I would say we dominated the line of scrimmage and we were the more physical team, whether that comes with block destruction, making tackles, playing the ball in the sky. I feel like the more aggressive team will win. And I feel like if we can impose our will on the offensive line and then have the linebackers coming and filling gaps with bad intentions, I think we can pull out the win.
So, Isaac, every week you play a different offensive line, but Alabama's been known for their terrific offensive linemen throughout the years, especially their tackles. What kind of film study do you do personally to get ready to play again? Because you might go against the right or the left tackle, depending on the structure. Tell me about what your preparation for that is.
So Coach Joyner, he'll usually give us like a film sheet on Monday, and it really has a couple things on there, like what type of blocker they are, what type of things they like to do, and then so you go through, you watch the film, and you fill out the sheet. Are they a leaner? Are they a puncher? Are they a riser? Stuff like that, and then how they like to block. Do they finish blocks? Do they position block, like just get in your way, stuff like that. And so that's really, you just go through that with the right and the left tackle, see what type of player they are. Do they 45-degree set? Do they vertical set? Or do they just try and jump and maul you at the snap and stuff like that? And once you get a feel for that, you kind of make up plans for that. If the guy's going to vertical set, you might want to go speed. If the guy is more of a 45 setter, you might have to go power first and transition to cut the edge and stuff like that. So that's really how we go into it. And then you have a rush plan, and obviously everyone has a plan until he gets punched in the mouth. So you go into the game with a plan, and then after that you have counters and change-ups off of that. So that's really how I do it.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah. Questions? Thank you.